The third point that I make is not an admonition either, and it is not a partisan comment. It is more a point of information. There are a number of you in this body who are practicing attorneys, and I remember in my first year of law school at the College of William & Mary, when a very prominent criminal defense attorney came to Williamsburg to speak to some of the first-year law students, and that gentleman's name was F. Lee Bailey. And I was absolutely mesmerized because besides being an extraordinary lawyer, he was a great showman, a great showman. And he wrote one of his early books that he wrote was called The Defense Never Rests. And at one point I had aspirations of being a real lawyer and perhaps even trying some criminal cases. So I read it from cover to cover on more than one occasion. And I remember to this day that one of the points that he made in that book, The Defense Never Rests, is that a fact is a fact is a fact, and that fact is not changed no matter how hard people try to distort it. And what that taught me at an early age, and I wish I had always followed this lesson in my life, but sometimes you just need to restrain yourself and not react to something emotionally until you know all of the facts, because a fact is a fact is a fact. Now, where is Tommy meandering this afternoon with that? I want to hearken back to some of the comments that have been made about the demonstrators on Capitol Square on Saturday and the arrest that resulted from there. And I did take the opportunity to look into this situation just a little more thoroughly. And the fact is that this had very little to do with trespassing or embarrassment or disgracing women's rights. And here's what I want you to know, some facts that you were not aware of. Participating in this demonstration on Saturday were many women who were passionate about the issue, and I respect that. But what you have not heard about are the members of the Occupy Richmond who were there on Saturday, 8 of whom were those that were arrested. You probably did not hear and don't know about a group called Wingnuts. Wingnuts is an identified anarchist armed terrorist group that were in that group and had announced that they would be participating in that demonstration along with the Occupy Richmond people. And that is what raised the level of concern. And as you heard from the senator from Grayson yesterday, that the state police who were dressed out in riot gear were not conspicuously out there until a disruption started. And I'm not attributing that disruption to the women who were passionate about it, but those who were arrested, some of them were from the Occupy Richmond and some of them from that armed anarchist group. And just in case you think that there is not a passion amongst some of those that were out there on Capitol Square on that Saturday, I am going to share a redacted email that was sent to some of our delegates who have been involved in some of these social issues. What a disgusting, disgraceful, and vile pig you are. The women of Virginia, except for the Christians that drank your Kool-Aid, have been pushed back into the dark ages because you and a certain unnamed conservative senator in the, delegate in the House of Delegates that I shan't name. Shame on you for being a foot soldier in the war on women. Once you come up for air after you have given the governor a certain sexual pleasure, and I clean that up, you will be able to see how dangerous you really are. How does it feel to be an accessory to state-mandated molestation? At least you're not an accessory to rape anymore. Go to hell, you effing monster. That's what some of those participating in that group were communicating. So, ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, a fact is a fact is a fact. And while we might have had a blended group out there were those out there who were not out there to protest the actions of this General Assembly as it related to women's rights. There were other people out there who had other agendas.
Thank you, Senator.